our demonstration this afternoon at this time is on dressage. First, I want to clarify a few things about dressage. It does not mean people in white pants talking with fake European accents, riding endless boring circles about as exciting as watching paint dry or grass grow. The root word from which dressage is derived in the infinitive form is from French. It's dressage. It means to train, to make straight, to direct. That pretty well catches the essence. Basically, riding or training with classical dressage principles simply means you're learning to trigger the reflexes God already built into the horse. As I tell prospective students who ask what system we use at Houghton College, I say, all right, if you meet someone from another country, a different culture, who speaks a different language than you do, and that person has an IQ of about 70, and you have about a 145 just below genius level IQ, of the two of you, who should be the one to learn the other one's language and appreciate the culture? The answer is always, oh, well, then we should. All right, of the two species, horse and human, who is supposedly the more intelligent? Us. Notice I said supposedly. So, if we're going to be good riders and good trainers, we really should learn to speak horse body language. We should talk to the horses in a way that already makes sense to them. We are predators. We have hands that can reach out and grab things. Horses are prey. They're meat animals. Their first instinct is to run away. Our first instinct to control things is to grab. We're asking two creatures with diverse value systems to become dancing partners. Dressage is about physically developing the horse gymnastically to become the best balanced, strongest, healthiest, most athletic creature it possibly can. The first year of training with a horse in the dressage system, your entire focus is get the hind leg to work. Now, if you look at Winston, the little 15-3 Dutch warm blood with 3 white socks and blaze, he is a green horse. He's not quite done with his first year of dressage training. So all we care about is that he ride with his body. When we started with him in June, his head waved around like a cobra trying to figure out where to strike. He wasn't being obnoxious, he wasn't being disobedient, he was trying to figure out how to find his balance. If you watch him move, he is enormously athletic, tremendous range of motion to all of his joints, no restrictions anywhere. He is as supple as a well-oiled cat. And that's the way he jumps too. He's like a cat. Alright, so you will notice every once in a while Winston gets everything put together, hind leg connected to the bit, swinging through the top line, the neck automatically arches and the face tucks in. This is not from any head setting reins, it is not from side reins, it is from the rider encouraging him to step forward with the hind leg. You will notice each time Kayla, who is on Winston, coasts down, she softly closes not her heels but her shin bones on his rib cage to encourage him to take a bigger step forward underneath himself with the hind leg. You must get the hind leg actively stepping up underneath. If you watch his belly muscles carefully, you will see each time that she does that, he contracts his abdominals, which helps pull the hind leg further
way down the end
underneath his body. When a horse does that, that gets them to relax and stretch upwards through their back, which begins to get their back to get stronger and supple and relaxed. You develop a horse that way and you end up with a horse that's back is so supple, it feels when you sit on it for trot and canter like you have your own private hot air balloon ride with breath control. Now, I had thought we would probably see a lot more waggle around with his head because he's in a new situation. He's acting a lot more mature and further along than he actually is, which is a good problem to have. All right, and Kayla, if you would then ask him for a little bit of canter, do it on about a 20 leg slightly behind the girth. Her right rein will ask him to look where he's going, not pull, but just gently hint, and her left rein will push sideways against the withers to bring his shoulder in front of his inside hop. And you see what a nice floating uphill canter we get from that. Now the way that Kayla knows the correct moment to apply her leg is when the hind leg is extended out behind the horse, the rib cage bulges in against your leg. If you ask at that moment, that's when you can influence that hind leg. All right, now for a down transition, we're going to ask her to push his shoulder again in front of his leading hock, bring her outside hip forward, and one of the upstrokes of the canter, close her fingers on the inside rein, and then she also dropped her heels and gently closed her calves on his rib cage to help him balance himself into a nice forward trot. And then if you would ask him to walk, sit down, walk your butt on the saddle, and that's it, very softly. Just no reins to get that down transition. Molly, I see you're nodding. You know that that's life. Okay. Now, you can continue to play with him just so he doesn't get nervous about being in a strange place near his buddies. Nate is further along than either Winston or Molly, but Liz is just learning some of these things from Nate. Kayla's been helping Winston get his training going. So Nate is unusually large for a thoroughbred. He's 17.2. They usually run more like 15.2 to 16.2. Someone gave him power club vitamins, I think, when he was growing up. So we're going to ask Liz to ask him to become a little bit rounder. And what she's doing, she's not pulling his chin in and asking him to set his head, but instead, each time she goes down, she's dropping her knees and heels down a little bit and closing her calves and shin bones on his rib cage. When you drop your heel and close your calves, it draws your leg down around and asks them to pick the belly up even higher. Their back comes rounder. You see when he sets his hind feet on the ground, all the joints in the hind legs articulate, they flex, so that he more sits in his hop. Then when he does that, he puts his own neck round, and she takes up the slack in the reins so that she doesn't hang up the phone mid-conversation. All right, now Liz, would you come down the center line, please? You may be rising or sitting trot, depends on how relaxed and soft his back is. I would like you to move away from us towards the barn. Each time she posts down, when his inside hind leg, the right hind leg is out behind him, she pushes sideways about 2 inches behind the girth with her right leg. Soften your arm a little bit so you're not restricting it quite so much. And then her left rein makes sure that his shoulder does not go sideways faster than his hip does. So the left rein locks the shoulder just a little bit. I think if you come down the center line again, rising trot is fine. And this time, I would like you to just let go with your right rein when you push your left rein and you push him over with the right rein. So they see the shoulder will tend to get going sideways faster than the hip does. Let go with the left rein. See how the shoulder leads? And the more you pull his head to the right, the more his shoulder drifts to the left. So the only way you can give a good leg load where the shoulders and hips move sideways at the same rate is to slow the shoulder down so that it can keep up. You can't make the horse speed up by squeezing or kicking or spurring harder. They can only step forwards and sideways under their body with the hind leg just so fast. So the way to help it is to slow the front end down so we're not getting the hand to stop. Okay? All right, and then Liz, if you pick up a circle. And Liz has just been starting to learn shoulders in from Nate. This is her 3rd time in her life to do it, so she's allowed to make mistakes. As you come down center line, turn 2 more steps than what it takes to be on the center line, so his shoulder is in front of his inside hop. That's right, you do it at the walk. Outside leg back, just circle again, because you need to keep the bend in his ribs. So your left leg goes at the girth, your right leg goes behind the girth. And then your left hip moves perpendicular to the He begins to bring that left hock further under. He sets it, bends it more when he sets that foot on the ground. Okay. And now Molly is an appendix quarter horse. She came to college with Meghan, her owner. A little outside the behind her, a little softer. And Molly just started learning dressage, but already had a lot of muscle. And you will take it one step further. You will notice that Meghan asks Molly to bend her ribs a little bit around her left leg. The right leg guards to make sure she doesn't lose the hip off center. And she's going to have a light tickle, a vibration of the right ring finger inside her closed fist, and allow Molly's energy to go forward and up, and let her lengthen. And she's going to be a little tight in her back for a minute because she's thinking about lightening the load under her tail. Good. And soften your arm, relax your wrist, let the horse reach for the bit. And one of the most important things we teach in dressage is the horse needs to find your hand a safe, comfortable place to go. The horse agrees to use its neck to carry its head. You agree to use your arms to carry your hands. And then the reins become a nice elastic connection for the two of you to converse. So if you would very softly vibrate, first the left ring finger and then the right, and then let the reins slip out a little bit. And again, left ring finger, right finger, let the reins slip longer. And again, let it go longer. And again, let it go longer. Slow your posting, come up slower, and give. Give your hand to her mouth. Don't pull back. Slow your posting. That's it. Give. Let her stretch down. Good. And a little bit more. And walk. Sit down, close your legs, don't pull. Walk your butt on the saddle. You're still sitting flat. There you go. Good. You're on. She feels better now. Okay. Now, at the walk, let's ask Molly to stretch down. So breathe, relax, soften your form. Yes. Now you notice as soon as she slides the reins, the horse goes with the bit. She wants to still be talking to Meghan. Walk your butt, relax, breathe out, and let her stretch. Good. Let it go down a little bit more. All right, now let's show people how we bring the horse back up. She's going to use her abdominal muscles below her belly button, contract, release, and the horse's head comes up, and you shorten the reins to take up the slack that's off her. Now vibration, first one ring finger and then the other, and let the reins slip and send her back down. And a little bit more, left rein a little bit more, give. And now use your abdominal core muscles and bring your neck and withers back up, and lift again. Keep your walk rhythm with your seat. Good. And now send her back down again. Slip the reins. Send her down and out. Good. Keep your seat slow because the horse's leg movement will match the rider's seat. And now if you'll ask her back up again, use your body core muscles. You see how as soon as she contracted her axle, the horse's head came up, and it came up by lifting your withers first. And then the rest of the neck came up. This is how you avoid a horse that tenses in the pole and throws its head up and moves its nose out. It comes from these muscles right in here. Do you have a question? Okay. All right, I'll repeat that last little bit. You send the horse down by first having an elastic connection to the bit. So you just stretch the slack out. You're not pulling on the mouth, and you're not throwing slack. Then you put a little bit inside your closed hand. The tip of your ring finger is against the heel of your hand. You do a little violinist tremolo. It's like a lover's secret between your finger and the horse's mouth. First one rein and then the other, a little tickle that says, I'm going to give you slack, you may go with it. And you slip out a quarter to a half inch of rein. Your legs continue to say step under. Your seat continues to say walk by moving with the horse's back muscles. The horse stretches, you vibrate and give again, you vibrate and give again, you vibrate and give again. So it's an invitation, reach for my hand. It's not put your hand down and stop back and forth and say drop your head or you're going to be sorry. It's here I am, come with me. Then to bring the horse's head back up, you bring the shoulders up by contracting your abdominal muscles slack in the reins so that you stay with the horse. If you don't, a horse that's been taught that it can trust you will go, oh, did you change your mind? Don't hang up the phone, I still want to talk to you. And they'll go back down until they stretch the rein out where they can gently feel your hand on the end of the rein again. Okay? So Molly has been working on this. Molly gets a little bit nervous when she's in new situations, but I think it's great credit to Meghan that even though she's scared being in here, she still trusts Meghan enough to do that. Because when a horse puts its head down, it makes itself vulnerable. Right now, the gray horse, Fawn, is trained to a higher level. She's been doing dressage and galloping, jumping cross country, and jumpers her entire life. Okay? And so she has more power, more strength. Erin's going to come down center line and ask for collected walk with belly muscles and lower leg. Watch Fawn's belly muscles underneath her ribs and back up into her flank. Can you see them flex and release with each step that she takes? And notice, Erin doesn't have to saw back and forth on the reins, just a tiny little vibration, a soft flexion of her wrist. And as the horse's back comes up to fill Erin's seat, automatically the withers come up and the neck arches. So the horse is in self-carriage. Alright, now Erin, if you'll get an imaginary bungee cord from your belly button to the horse's withers, one from each of your sitting bones underneath your pelvis to the toes of the hind feet, and ask that walk to get more flexion in the knees and the hocks so she picks her feet up a little higher and a little shorter. Good. Soft, don't soft, soft, relax your shoulders. That's it. Because if you tense a muscle anywhere on your body, the horse will tense a corresponding muscle in the area. Alright, now lower legs back just a hair and lift your abs and close both shin bones together. Very soft. Be sure to keep your seat underneath you and your chest a little forward. Give. Don't shut her down. That's it. Soft hand, soft hand, soft hand. Raise your hand a little bit. Alright, now lift with your abs and both legs. And forward. And ask again. Stop, collected, walk. And let's get her off the rail a little bit and give. Now, those of you that are right on the rail can see the horse's piaffe. She's trotting in place. Erin's aids are as light as the breath it would take to move a piece of dangling. Alright? And very soft again, Erin. And you will watch. If Erin tightens anything in her body, Fawn will tighten the corresponding spot in her own body. Soft, 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 and go. Good. And now collected trot, Erin. Very soft. Now we're going to ask Erin to take her lower leg back just a little bit because when the horse sits down behind and raises her withers, if she kept her feet up by the girth, she'd end up water skiing with her feet raised down in front of her. You always want to have your heel ankle underneath your own center of gravity. Now let's ask for a forward collected trot. Lower legs back just a little bit, and now alternate your legs. Left, right, left, soft, 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 forward and soft. Soft, 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 soften your arm. Could you see that Erin got a little tight in her right forearm and the mare got a little tight in the right side of her pole and her jaw. And as soon as Erin softens her arm, the mare gives a big snort of relief and goes, I let her go with that tension, now I can keep forward again. Good, 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 good. And now ask her to go forward, extended trot. Just up your heel just a little bit and let it go. And notice how far up underneath Erin's seat the hind feet come and how the whole front leg swings all the way up to the withers and then horses coming all the way up to her hip joints. Alright, and now the collection. Good, good, good. And down the center line. And do a 10-meter circle. And we're going to show you an exercise that helps build up the power in the hind leg. Sit a little bit to the right now, and your seat slip a little bit to the left. Soft, 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 soft. And shoulder in down the center line. So we're going to ask Fawn to sit more weight in her right hop and bring her shoulder over. Outside leg back a little bit so we keep the bend. And now we're going to ask her to move her hip around and bend her ribs around Erin's right leg. So now her hip is closer to you. Good. And there's haunches in. And now change it to shoulder in your left. So we're just going to change the bend in the ribs. Turn your head and look left. and turn towards the crowd. Shoulder in left, and half pass towards me. So every other step, Erin's going to ask the horse to go forwards and sideways into the bend, and track left.
Good.
Good. Does anybody have any specific questions about any of this? Because you can't really condense 1,400 years of history plus. Actually, longer than that, it's 2,400 years of history. Oh, free walk? Erin, drop your heels. Stretch the reins. There's your free walk. Notice the horse reaches for the bit. No one was holding her into a shape. No one's forcing her into a frame. It comes from a close communication between the rider's seat and leg and the horse's back and hind legs. The reins are not the main of the aids. They're the frosting on the cake. There's a little finesse that shapes the energy like shaking a bubble without popping it. Okay? Breath like hands. No force, no coercion. Just easy soft. Okay. Thank you, folks. One last thing I would mention, folks. Remember at the very beginning I said the purpose of dressage is to gymnastically develop the horse and make it stronger and healthier? All right. These are not spring chicken horses. All right. Winston is, yes. And how old is Molly? Is she 11 or 12? 12, okay. Nate is 16. Fawn, no sway back, no arthritis, strong hocks. Her birthday